Hi, and thank you for watching TargetedWest.com show, the V2K call with DJ Chris, your host. It's show number 136, and tonight's open mic, so everybody gets to talk. Bring your best game onto the mic, and we'll record it, and you'll be broadcast out on Spotify, YouTube, BitChute, and put in archive.org as for posterity. Of course, archive.org is broken now, but it will be back up soon. Anyway, it's the 27th of October, 2024, and it's open mic, so come on aboard and talk about whatever you like, as long as it's about targeting. Go ahead. Your open mic is available. Or not. If you don't want to talk, I can talk. Book club's going well. We're at 182 members now, so we'll talk about more of that in the upcoming call. We've got an announcement from TI Events, so that'll be coming up at around 7 o'clock. A couple of advertisements for product and for TI Events, of course, will be coming up soon. But for now, I'm going to have to put you on mute, restricted. Sorry about that. There you go. Anyway, it's open mic. Come on in. Tonight, yeah, we're going to mute you, buddy. Sorry about that. That's crazy. Anyway, it's open mic. We have the book club going. Tonight's book club is about Laurel Canyon. So if you're in the 60s rock and roll and the anti-war hippie movement, then that's the book for you. I know one other person is reading it right now in the book club. And that'll be our book club offering for tonight. And that'll be very interesting because of the music you hear on the radio every day. You know, David Crosby is considered having royalty blood, and that people use his, sperm to make babies. Did you know that? They think he goes way back to royal times. So David Crosby is the daddy of many babies in the rock industry. Yeah, Melissa Etheridge has a baby from him.
Yeah.
Yeah, the band America's from Laurel Canyon. And then you had Zappa, who was given out LSD that we think was from the CIA. And, of course, all the military backgrounds of the parents of many of the band members is insane. Even a couple band members toured and on to make music, so they don't know why he was there. There's been a covert ops in this book about Laurel, which is right off of Sunset Boulevard and Air Force Base at the top of the hill too, Looking Glass Hill or something like that, Lookout Hill. So they probably had a lot of influence in the music, and what they probably want to do is make a bunch of people that were anti-war that look bad, so that they could make the anti-war movement look terrible, because we are a banana republic of war, as you all know, in the beautiful U.S. of A. So anyway, it's open mic. Come on in. Do you have a comment? Come on in and talk about the book, or you can talk about targeting. And Neil Young was in the Laurel Canyon book, and then the book listed all the deaths of people from heroin deaths and hanging. It sounded like a bunch of CIA hits, to be honest with you. Very strange how that worked out. And the book covers that, like from about 66 to 68 up until 76. Many people died in that industry, in that specific Laurel Canyon industry. So, really crazy.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
And, you know, they probably did MK Ultra to the music and probably put stuff in it to make you do things or protest. And then they put you on a list as a protester and you get treated like crap for the rest of your life. It's like I said, this is a war country and we mean war all the time. Gotta have a war going. All the time. Except for one president, we didn't.
Yeah.
Yep, I think you're right. Well, I even heard it on one of my temp jobs. We had a weekend warrior, that's what you call the National Guard people. And he bragged that he liked to be active duty because he made more. But I do know when I worked at the VA, we had some guy when he was active duty, he hated it because he made less money. So it depends what you did and what you do in the military. But it's just surprising.
Yeah, now they're talking, Eileen, they're talking about including the military in local civil activity because they're thinking we're going to have a civil discourse of some sort during the election and they're going to come piling in with a bunch of military people and they've already passed something about it. So it's on YouTube for everybody to watch. I think it's on activist posts too. But you know, they're going to shoot people dead if they don't conform. So I hope they don't. That's scary though to think about. So much crap going on in the world right now. I mean, how can you not be stressed out? Besides being targeted, you got to listen to that war crap, the election crap. All the cities going to crap thanks to George Soros. He's the one behind it. All those progressive DAs are Soros people. That's right. They're taking your unit to the United States and they're using the poor and the people on drug cities and everybody to fight and then make it worse and go into the urban areas and everybody's going to be fighting. So.
Hi, Chris. It's Michelle.
Hello, Michelle. This is DJ Chris. How are you?
Good. Have you heard of, I know that Len Bears talked about it, the Omnivore.
It is an omnivore, and that's a new word I learned, omnivore. I learned that. That's funny you brought that up. That was my new word, omnivore.
Yeah.
Omnivore means it could be anywhere, or asymmetrical warfare is the same thing. It could be done anywhere. But yeah, right. That was my new word. You're reading my mind. But that's exactly what it describes, many wars on many fronts.
Yeah.
So what, the United States will just be another part of the omnivore? Is that what's going to happen?
I guess so. I also learned from another video I watched. I don't know if you ever heard of David Hughes, but he's talking about how these perpetrators and these criminals are violating space law. Some people don't even know there is laws of space, but it's considered everything they're doing. If they're exploiting any human life through like the galaxies or through the airspace, it's violating space law.
Well, that makes sense, as I believe some of this technology is guided by satellites, and they do reconnaissance, and they listen. They have radio telescopes out in the sky that can hear you drop a pin in your house. Yeah. They hear everything we say.
Right.
They hear your thermal image through your roof to see what you're doing at night, and I know they use that on me. So.
Yeah.
Can you repeat
from the
that?
satellite, and then they've got the cell towers. What's that?
Could you repeat what you just said? They're doing what to you?
satellites.
Oh, okay.
Using satellites to torture us, yes. I believe it's part of a whole omni-war all over the world of TIs being attacked, and I believe it's a asymmetrical war that can be done anywhere at any level. And sorry about that. But it's also a global war, and it's also global technology. I believe that we are probably selling this V2K and all that directed energy weapons by remote methods to other countries to control.
Well, hey, Chris, Sorry. This is Jen. How are you doing?
Well, hello, Jen. How are you? Come on in.
Well, I'll tell you what, very strange things have happened. I mean, I've woken up to dew sprays before, and I look horrible. I almost went to the ER for my eyes, but I'd have to pay for it. But I noticed 2 nights in a row there was a light like it was a star, but it started moving and even went to a zigzag motion. And I knew that wasn't a droid. And I'm wondering, well, satellites don't do that, do they? And I thought at the beginning that this was a UFO. And around 11:40 p.m. in the eastern night sky, and I found it 2 nights in a row, and I didn't look for it last night, but I don't know. Maybe it's a coincidence, but dew sprays are very unpleasant. They're very destructive, and I wish somebody could tell me how to block them. I don't suppose it's easy. I've looked for a way of getting hold of Richard Lighthouse, and maybe he has an idea. I don't think it's a Faraday cage. I just don't know. But if anybody knows about that stuff, please speak up. Also, I wanted to tell you that I did find that Ronnie Kildee book on Goodreads, and it's on my wish list, and I'm number 94. So if anybody knows how to find Bright Light on Black Shadows, I hope somebody could speak up about that too. So
yeah, I'd like to add that to the TI book club eventually. I've been looking for it.
Well, I thought I tried going to bookstores in England thinking that would be better. But obviously, they really, in the northern countries, they just got rid of it. They just censored her book. But I can't find it in the U.S. at all. So I'm going to keep looking.
Keep looking and let me know.
Yeah, I will.
They have one on eBay for $500 right now. I just looked.
Yeah, well, I guess that's a good example. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, Dr. Ronnie Lena.
Yeah, well, TargetedWest has put her on the TJ website under medical, and she really knew her stuff. And I just found that for the first time the other day, and yeah, and I remember years ago finding out she was murdered, and I was so upset about it, and I barely knew about her. I just knew that she really knew her stuff.
Yeah, if you want to buy her book, the publisher is in Canada. He sells it directly, and I remember calling him. I don't know how long ago it was. I do not remember. You have to buy it directly through him if you want to get a fair, reasonable price. I don't know why eBay, whoever is selling it on eBay, is being crooked about the price.
They have one on Amazon. They have one on Amazon for $159.
No, when I called the publisher up some time ago, it was about $35. I think something logical like that, or something that you would think to pay. But I don't remember. I'm trying to remember how I got his phone. I think I looked up her book on Amazon, and I got the publisher. And back in that time, he had his phone number. Things are changing all the time drastically, so maybe he doesn't have his phone number available anymore. But he used to, and if you can get it from him, it's going to be much more reasonable than $159 on Amazon. Unless he raised the price sky high. He could have raised the sky. It was about 2 years ago at least that I spoke to him. So it could be $159 now. That could very well be.
Didn't you say you found it in Canada? Did you say that?
Yeah, the publisher is in Canada.
The light is green.
You're not coming in real clear. Did you say you found it in Canada?
Canada.
Yeah.
Canada.
The public.
I think it was Canada.
Canada.
Can you?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Canada. Okay.
Anyway, it's open mic. Please come in if you'd like to talk. That's cool. Hey, Michelle.
I didn't realize I wasn't on mute.
$159.
Hi, Chris. It's Cece. How you doing?
Well, hello, Cece. Come on in.
Hi. Hi, everybody. It's getting cold it's getting cold in Northern California. I don't know has it snowed yet, Chris?
No, it has not snowed yet.
I was going to take a vacation over to Tahoe or Reno, and I didn't get a chance. I wanted to go sit by the pool, get in the pool. But, our little friends always follow us, right? But good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
Hi, Cece.
Hi, who's that?
Anthony.
Hi, Anthony, mi hermano. ¿Cómo está? ¿Cómo está usted?
I looked up that word DJ Omnivore, and this interesting podcast came up. Mary Danielson chats with technocracy and transhumanism expert Patrick Wood to discuss the game-changing or game-ending, if you look at the Bible, assault on as we get ever closer to the mark of the beast. What is this omnivore resistance? Very futile. Every day we are bombarded by seemingly unrelated or disconnected news bites and are led to believe that they are random events when actually everything together is one huge comprehensive war on humanity and what it means to be human. What are the characteristics of this war so we can maybe wrap our heads around the games that the globalists play to conquer the species? Is this a military war too? If so, are we watching it play out with every non-traditional weapons? The super weapon being AI. Unfortunately, we are too busy composing poems with AI apps to understand or pay close attention. It's like giving your kids a rattle to distract them when the important rhythms of life are playing out just beyond their grasp and comprehensive. The goal of today's podcast is to at least get a grasp on how late it is and who and what is driving this technocratic freight train. Shameless plug for swag of our listeners or donors. It sounds interesting. I think I'm going to watch it later. Listen to it.
Check it out. Yeah, let me know what you think. That's great, and I can post it.
It's all about transhumanism.
Yeah, that's what this is. I know I'm a transhuman. I have a computer in me.
Right. I put the link in the chat in case anybody wanted to listen to it later.
Thank you. How do you access the chat? Because I'm on the phone. Is there a way to do a chat where you?
I usually use the app. If you use the app for free conference call, you can get the chat.
Oh, okay. I'll remember that the next time. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, and then you can participate in the chat room.
Yeah.
That's where I began. I sit in the chat room for years and never talk, and then I finally got the nerve. But I'm chat room oriented. You know what I mean?
Mm.
That's where I started.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where I'm at during the week when I'm not on my calls in the chat rooms. Usually saying my opinion and ruining my reputation, but that's okay because I don't care. Because we're all in the war to end this, and I don't care what people think about me. So anyway, it's open mic, DJ Chris, TargetedWest.com. I have a complete website, and of course you can check me out on Twitter, and I update that all the time.
Okay.
Can I ask, is anybody getting like more harsh targeting, like gang stalking?
Yes, it's driving me crazy. It's driving me crazy. These people are insane.
It's like they're following me so closely, Chris and everybody. It's like I was in my car and here they come running out of the house upstairs, right? And if I move in my bed, he moves in his bed above me. And I mean, it's all day long, all night long. And it's insane. It's just, and he's a new one. He just moved in. So I think it's time to test the boundaries, right? I was just wondering if anybody else was getting that, because this is even worse than, and that it's a guy against a girl. You know what I mean? For the girls, are you guys dealing with that right now?
So you're saying that somebody moved in your building?
Yeah, a new neighbor. The other one, I kind of helped run out, and she had to move because I reported her to the management.
Okay.
Yep. And management didn't want to do nothing. They let it go on and go on. Anybody getting like stomping, that's the new thing, is just to stomp the heck out of the floor. The ceiling above me type thing.
That's funny you bring that up. One of the neighbors that just moved in an RV, their kid does that all night, practically, stomping. I'm afraid she's going to get, damaged. It's so loud because these RVs echo.
Oh, so it's like next door to you, Chris, and then you can hear it?
Kind of. It's two houses, two RVs down, but yeah, I can hear it. She finally pops out, go towards 9 o'clock. And then they have this light on that's so bright you can hardly sleep. It's crazy.
Does it blink or is it just a light?
It's one of those aftermarket LED panels that are really too bright for normal use.
That's funny how you say that. My last neighbor, 2 neighbors back, right? He actually had a floodlight that would turn on when I'd get out of my car and douse me with high amounts of light. I couldn't go to my door without being illuminated. It was unreal. And I told the management, and they're just like, not want to do nothing about it. And I'm just like, for real? And it wouldn't be like it's in a general spot. It would be on my doorway. I would stick one finger out and it would illuminate, literally.
Cece, do you hear them dragging anything? Say you're laying on your bed and you go over to the bathroom. Do you hear them drag anything over there? Or if you walk from the couch over to the kitchen, do you hear them with anything that they're dragging over the floor above you?
They, every Wednesday night or Thursday night, they drag a machine of some sort from the living room to the bedroom. And it was one machine, now it's two things. I want to say machine because I don't know what it is really. But if I walk to the bathroom, not every time, but they will follow me to the bathroom, and then they will stomp or walk super hard as I'm, because, you know, you turn on the water, you turn off the water, they know where you are. Then if I go back to my bed or I go back to the kitchen, if I go to the kitchen, then they follow above. Sometimes they'll stop, sometimes they won't. But today, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I do know they have directional speakers and hollow sound where they could one of the reasons why they try to make people paranoid is they follow behind you and they kind of beam these different sounds like a theater, like a hollow sound, and you could look that up, where it sounds like footsteps or something dragging below you or outside, or that makes you look over to make you look, and it's actually sound being beamed. They have all kind of directional speakers now, and it's a way to psychologically, as a method of psychological warfare. I do know that they do have ceiling thumpers that you could thump, but I know in the building I live in, there's metal beams, and I heard something, and I went down in the basement, I went outside, and what it is they're beaming something on the metal parts outside and the electrical wires that go into the house. And that's how these sounds through vibrations are getting into people's houses.
I don't doubt you at all. I believe that they could actually make the sound or beam it in or.
Yeah.
Totally believe it.
But what it does is the one guy actually about four of them, the police actually stopped them and took two of them in. They had some kind of souped up scope. And what they do is sometimes they use regular hunting thermal imaging that is not supposed to be used on homes to watch you thermally into your house. And you could get them on with a little monitor for $150 to $250 on Walmart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what I was thinking that they were doing every time they would follow me from room to room, and it was only a studio apartment, so you can imagine me walking from my sofa to the bathroom or to the kitchen and back to the sofa. So they would drag something across. So I thought it was ground penetrating radar.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Well, I thought that's what it was. I thought that they could monitor you.
Well, why would they do that when they could just put cameras in my torture chamber and just watch me that way? Why do they have to watch me from why do they have to X-ray me from above?
I'm thinking it's all of the above.
They're cowards.
I think it's all. I think it's all of it. It's all of it. I think it's live camera.
Yeah,
I think it's beaming. I think it's detections. I think it's what is that ultra red? Somebody help me.
Yeah, ultraviolet.
Infrared.
Yeah, I believe that.
So when you have the DEA. Oh.
Well, someone said that if you use a mirror or something with the red light, that it could burn. Like if you beamed it through a mirror, that it could create some kind of effect that would smolder and burn you.
I think that's possible. Depends on the laser. You got to have a laser that's going to hurt you first, the type that are industrial strength.
Sorry, it's just very, violating. I'm getting a little hyper, so sorry about that. This has been going on for 32 years, so it's very upsetting.
Oh, that's right. Tonight, Len Burr will be on Coast to Coast, so everybody tune in tonight after the Targeted West show. And Laura, of course.
But somebody asked me a question, and so I was just trying to answer, that's all.
Oh. Did anyone see the pocket guide for radar and electronic warfare that's making the rounds on Facebook? Hello?
I've never seen that on. I don't have Facebook, so I wouldn't know. But what is that you're saying?
Well, I noticed trickling on social media, like on the Cyber Command talents, that they're openly training for electronic warfare pulses. But this one company, roadandswartz.com, they actually have a free downloadable, or you can have it mailed to you. It's a pocket guide for radar and electronic warfare. It says it's the art and science of denying an enemy the benefits of electromagnetic spectrum while preserving them for friendly forces. And it's basically acknowledging that this exists. And like it says, it's denying an enemy the benefits of electromagnetic spectrum while preserving it for friendly foes. It's like a security agency that trains people, but they're offering this free right now. And I downloaded it. It's very interesting how it's almost like they're slowly trying to make the masses aware this is going on without coming right out and saying it. And I'm like, well, why would they have a pocket guide on social media? They'll send it to your home free. They'll let you download it for free, like they're warning us what's coming.
They always tell you what they're going to do. Remember that.
Yeah, but I
all
think
the
it's
way
very
through
odd.
history. No, they tell you what they're going to do. They always do.
What did you say the name of it was again? I'm sorry, I missed it.
It was. You could find it. I'll spell out the website. It's a pocket guide to radar and electronic warfare, and it's free from Road. I'll spell Road, ROHDE dash SCHWARZ.com. And this is like some kind of security site that is training people. Yeah. It's talking about our society's central nervous system. If it doesn't run, nothing else will. Operating and protecting critical infrastructure is a daunting task. Ensuring a safer and connected world with leading solutions from Road and Swartz. Their passion for technology. It's very interesting that they're actually advertising. They have an oscilloscope, equipment, team up with experts near you. It's like it's these security agencies are already training people for this, and it's like they're giving you these booklets for free.
Wow. Did you download it?
Yeah,
I wouldn't give them my
street
address. Don't give them your street address. Just download it.
Yeah, I didn't do that, but I did download it, and it has a picture. Now, I've heard oscilloscope, I can't say it, we're good with measuring sound, so I'm not sure. I mean, it's probably a lot of money. Bandwidth channel, 350 MHz to 2 GHz, 8 channel. I mean, it's just, it's like they're selling brochures and equipment to people and businesses talking about this electromagnetic warfare, saying that we're going to use this to stop our enemies, but we're going to keep it for the good guys, supposedly us. So it's very odd. I've noticed on social media they're trickling out, including the military, especially Cyber Command talent on Facebook. They're openly recruiting people for electromagnetic warfare and pulses. And they're hoping to have two people, I guess 2 units, in each of the military units that are trained in electromagnetic warfare to defend our troops. It's just interesting how they're not coming forward and admitting it, but then they're training for it.
It's part of the fourth industrial revolution, or 5G technology, fifth generation technology.
Well, there's a dynamic going on in the world. The world is becoming more mulata, and I think that there are groups that are afraid of losing control, and I think this is just one of the ways that control is going to be kept. Is the more we can watch you, the more we can control you, keep you suppressed, the more we'll rule the world.
Mm-hmm. I also think that this tech is out there. I know a lot of people blame the government and various agencies, but I also know it's available for hire. As the NSA agent, the one lady Karen who had said on some of the pages she had that it's basically a murder for hire club, a torture club for sick individuals. I do know, as far as I'm concerned, I witnessed some stuff with gang activity, and that's what made me a target.
The way it's
so
simple.
Who just described the torture club?
Her name was Karen Stewart, I believe. She was the NSA agent who was a whistleblower who then they targeted.
Yeah. I really feel like my problem is kind of a torture club. I do. I'm glad I heard you say that.
Yeah, well, hold your thoughts. We have a quick commercial break. We'll be right back after this brief, important message. Hold your thoughts. I appreciate you guys in the open mic concept. And here we go. Just a quick commercial, please, from TI Events.
Chris, I've been hosting events for targeted individuals, but no one ever comes.
You need TIevents.org. It's where TIs find all the events. Conference calls, meetups, webinars.
How do I get listed?
Just go to TIevents.org. It's easy. TIevents.org, where the TI community connects. List your event today.
Check out TI Events for calls after this and during the week. Anyway, back to our open mic concept. You were talking, Jen?
I think that's my problem and why my targeting is so, psychopathic. I mean, everybody experiences that. But this guy is so obsessed with damaging me. I mean, he's just extra insane, young, power tripping, just obsessed with stopping me, because I've written a lot of material. I haven't put it together, but I've worked really hard on writing. And also, I was framed to the DOC, and they forced me to stay an extra year. And it was absolutely gruesome. And I wrote a lot in there, too. Unfortunately, I lost most of that. But, it seems like I've got a lawsuit everywhere. And I have to really discriminate on what I'm going to do. And it's really tough. And this guy is just so obsessed with me. And I know a lot of that is a show. And, I'm telling myself that this is military, but it's also law enforcement. And that's why the police are extra corrupt here in Washington, Missouri. And I just get the psychic impression that the chief was military, and the officers, have just...
Many military go into police service after their military service. It's very common.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely that way here. And I don't know.
And then they join the Masons.
I had this just outrageous discreditation campaign, is how Eleanor White used to call it. And, never sold drugs, didn't hit my children. I inherited some money here and there, and I didn't need to do some of this crazy stuff. And, I have a lot of typical problems in the family plan, like so many people. But I just have this fantasy, of writing the chief. My brother and I sat down in the chief's office, and I was a little too afraid to be blunt because, I have a lawsuit somewhere. But I have a fantasy of writing the chief of police here and saying, none of this stuff is true. Because I actually believe there's a lot of true. And a lot of the gang stalking in here, they believe it's true. And they're doing something good by using it. And they're bettering the world, etc. So I don't know. I think I'm going to give that a try and notarize it and put it in my file and see if it doesn't get better for me. I've noticed today that there's another cell tower that I didn't know about. So it's like it's just terrifying. I'm dealing with 3 cell towers. I don't know what the distance is in meters, but I'm dealing with a cell tower that's one of those that's described or designed to look like a tree. And then I've got there's one in the fire department down the street, my street, and then there's another one north. And I don't know. Does anybody know the distances of the power of? It's got to be pretty big. You know what I'm saying? And I'm wondering, gosh, when I'm looking for a place to live, maybe I should just try to Google where the cell towers are in this town.
Go to antennasearch.com and you'll find them. Just go to antennasearch.com.
Okay, I'm going to write that down, Chris.
Write it down right now and don't forget. antennasearch.com, and you can find all the towers by your address. Tell you every single one. So your goal is to find an address with the fewest.
Yeah, that simplifies it.
Yeah, antennasearch.com.
Okay. Thank you for that.
That's what I was about to say, Chris, because
No
I was
worries.
about to go drive around to try to find all these things because I thought that would be
No, they're on the
way.
internet. They have to legally. The FCC makes them. I have to tell you. So it's on Antenna Search. You'll find it. Easy peasy.
Sure.
That's what we're here for.
Awesome.
I'm the chief bottle washer here at TargetedWest.
Thank you.
Oh, man.
It's open mic if anyone wants to chime in. Come on in. The weather's warm.
Has anybody confronted their gang stalker?
I don't have any gang stalkers to confront. They're all in my head. But I did have the sheriff play that shenanigans on me at the beginning, but they quit.
Yeah.
Mine started with the Santa Clara County Sheriff's Department.
Did you file a complaint against the police, or?
No, because they'll make it worse. You can't file complaints with the police. The police department in Santa Clara was corrupt. A couple of them ended up at eBay, and they're the ones that got in trouble for putting the pigs' heads on that person that was criticizing them.
No, I mean, why do you feel like the sheriffs were targeting you?
Because the sheriff's helicopter was above my roof saying sheriff on it. And there's a guy hanging out of the side of the landing gear with a circular device hanging above my roof in 2002. Yeah, it's them. I know it's them. I know it is. I proved it. The helicopter's on YouTube, too, because they have to show it off. It's a Eurocopter, one of those Chinese, French-made doozies. Can you imagine hanging a crappy Chinese, French helicopter above my roof for a small drug relapse? That's the way they operate. But right after 9/11, everybody was a terrorist. I was a narco-terrorist because of the narcotics. And they said that if you do drugs, you're supporting the terrorists. So all of a sudden, everybody was a terrorist after 9/11. So that's how I got pulled into this.
Okay.
Like Oprah, you're a terrorist, everybody's a terrorist.
Hi, DJ Chris.
Hello, Jax. How are you?
I'm getting better. I've had
Get your voice back.
Case of, I had bronchitis, and it made me feel tired for 2 weeks before it really manifested to what it was. I thought, what the heck? Why am I so tired? And so finally, I did get really sick. I had the body aches, sore muscles, and honestly, I really thought I was being attacked at first. I thought that it was false, but it turned out to be a real, I'm really sick. But I'm feeling better, and hopefully tomorrow I'm going to make a big batch of buttermilk fried chicken.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah, I've been looking at some recipes for the buttermilk soak.
Where do you we use all recipes online. That's where we go.
Yeah. I have a bunch of cookbooks, but I end up using online as well. So I've just been craving, like this real crispy buttermilk fried chicken. Just like you take a bite and you can hear it all over the house.
That sounds good. I'll be right over.
Yeah, I'm going to make it tomorrow. But I do still feel pretty weak, but I appreciate all the well wishes that people were sending me.
Yeah, you kind of fell off the earth there for a little bit. Did they give you an antibiotic for the bronchitis or what?
Well, they say that, if you look up bronchitis, it says not to take antibiotics. But I did because the phlegm was infected. I had signs of infection. So I self-medicated, and I have a stash, what I call my earthquake stash. And I grabbed my, probably didn't take the right kind of antibiotic, but it worked. And it broke up all that phlegm. But all I do is blow my nose. Every second I'm blowing my nose. I've gone through like 3 boxes of Kleenex. But I'm feeling better, so you guys, this is I haven't had bronchitis for like a long time, at least like 7 or 8 years. And so to have it was kind of a shocker.
I bet.
And I don't smoke, that's typically, but it's an infection of the lining of your airways, the lining when you breathe. And that's why I was tired. I just couldn't get any energy. And it turns out that's why when you have bronchitis, it's your airflow is blocked from the infection and that surrounds the outer lining of your airway.
Oh, I see. That makes sense. Well, we're hoping you get a full recovery.
Oh, yeah, it's on its way. It's on its way. But I've been wanting to look up TED Talks so we can try to get something going for our community to get on a national TED Talk and talk about the weapon system that's in place. But it has to be done very carefully so it doesn't scare people.
I agree, yes. TED Talk would be perfectly appropriate, but I think a lot of people behind the TED Talk are behind this, unfortunately.
Exactly. If we get that far and get scheduled, I know what's going to happen because the government comes in with their little badges and they send some, citizen on patrol, who has status in the community, and they come in and say, yeah, this is a matter of national security. But they should be alarmed, when we're trying to tell the world, and then another part is inside saying, no, you can't. We don't want you to talk about it. Then that proves that what we're saying has validity. But this is why but I'm going to try. I'm going to try to see what happens. But, I've had police reports, Chris, with video of being assaulted by a perpetrator, and the cop lies on the report and says that I'm 5150 on the last sentence of the report, even though there's a video of a clear assault and at minimum negligence. It happened with an hospital employee at where I go to see my doctor. And I told my own doctor about the employee. I showed her his picture, and they all knew who he was. And he worked there. He was like a gopher. He just did all kinds of errands. And they blocked the report. The police made the report, and he acted like to me, oh, I've made this report for you, and called me up and said, I submitted your report. And then when I read it, it said that I was mentally ill on the last sentence, with no reason for it.
Isn't that lovely? Isn't that lovely?
Yeah, they can say what they want on a police report. And, I was getting targeted. I would have gone over there to Internal Affairs because that was the Burlingame police that did it. And I would have gone over there and made a report against the police officer, but I was being targeted so bad. And at the time, I didn't have the cyber shield. I had no physical shielding except what I've conjured up on my own. And so, we've got so many things to deal with that going after every little violation, not little, but every civil violation that they commit against us. But we're basically people without any rights or anything. It's disgusting. But we have to keep trying, But everything we do, it is blocked. If you and you're effective, you can go and do a lot of things that are effective, and then national security steps in, like they did with Kathy O'Brien, and it was always, well, it's a matter of national security.
Yes, because this is a new warfare. technology that's being used all throughout the world, and the U.S. wants to be number one at it, I'll bet. Anyway, you're listening to Open Mic with Jackson DJ in the house. We're going to play a commercial in a couple minutes. Other than that, actually, we have our weekly Tranquility announcement from TI Events and a quick commercial both coming up in just a moment. So please stand by and check this out. Here we go.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another edition of The Week in TI Events. Tonight, I'd like to begin by paying special recognition to DJ Chris, the heart and soul of the Targeted West show, who has done so much to strengthen our community. DJ Chris has been a guiding light for our community, creating a space where we can come together, share, and support each other. In March, he'll celebrate the 3rd anniversary of Targeted West, marking 3 years of tireless dedication. He also hosted this year's 2nd annual TI moderator meeting, uniting leaders across the community, a true testament to his belief in our shared strength. He's always finding ways to inspire us, bringing on influential guests like Kathy O'Brien, Jesse Beltran, and the late Robert Duncan, whose work left a lasting impact. From his thoughtful choice of speakers to founding the only TI book club we know of, now with over 150 members, DJ Chris creates genuine connection, and somehow he still finds time to be creative. With 7 impactful TI books, his recent adult coloring book, Beach Day, and over 368 anti-B2K mixes. DJ Chris never misses a beat, whether he's coaching new TI leaders, mixing tracks, or gathering us all together. We're lucky to have such a genuine, thoughtful friend and leader among us. Having celebrated DJ Chris's invaluable support, let's now explore the events coming up for our community. Tonight at 11 p.m. Eastern, right after the Targeted West show, join Laura Ann's Voice to Heart conference call. This late-night call is a favor for TIs to share experiences and find support, so be sure to tune in. Looking ahead to Monday at 9:30 p.m. Eastern, Victory Through B2K conference call will be hosted by Targeted Justice Officer Melody, joined by Frank S., founder of TargetedTechTalk.com. Looking ahead to Wednesday, I'd like to remind you about 2 great new calls. At 7 p.m. Eastern, Surviving Targeting with Gratitude and Science with licensed social worker Daniel Frankel. Last week's session was very therapeutic. And at 9 p.m. Eastern, join Absolutely Necessary, a meeting of Alcoholics Anonymous for targeted individuals. Open to all, this meeting provides a safe space for discussing alcoholism and its intersection with targeting. On Friday, join the Thank God It's Friday conference call hosted by DJ Chris from 9 to 11 p.m. Eastern. It's a perfect space to unwind and connect. Then, right after the Targeted West show, check out Call for the Targeted, hosted by Louis Rowe of Advocacy for Neuro Rights. And next Sunday, don't miss another Targeted West show with DJ Chris featuring special guest Louis Rowe. It's a perfect time for the community to share and connect, so mark your calendars. Stay connected with DJ Chris by subscribing to the Targeted West newsletter at substack.com/@TargetedWest and follow DJ Chris on X at TI Club 3. Thank you all for tuning in tonight, and special thanks to DJ Chris for allowing me to share these announcements. For more details, visit tievents.org and sign up for email updates. Until next time, this is Tranquility signing off and sending you all waves of positivity. Have a wonderful evening, everyone.
Thank you, Tranquility. Great call. Thank you, everyone, for that. It's Open Mic. Oh, Marcus is here.
Oh, so you're the heart and soul of Targeted West. How about that? Congratulations, DJ Chris.
I'm the chief bottle washer of Targeted West, for your information. I announced that on Twitter today that I have announced that I am the chief bottle washer. Make a note of it, please. I'm going to put on my business card. You think I'm joking?
Chris, can you hear me?
Oh, Marcus is here, Jax. Hey, tell Jax to feel better, Marcus.
Hey, Jax. I love you, woman. You're a nice woman and a nice TI. I'm sorry you got targeted. Same with Chris. I wanted to bring up just one thing real quick. I'm using my backup phone because my other phone, a Samsung Galaxy, I bought like a month ago, and it's already losing signal.
Wow.
I wonder what happened there. Anyway, I'm going to shut the recording off. Our next commercial will be at 7:30. It's now top of the hour. Thank you for watching on your favorite platform, whether it's BitChute, YouTube, or listening on Spotify or on archive.org. Thank you for your time. Please like and subscribe and leave a comment. And you can always come see me live on the call every Sunday by going to TargetedWest.org. Thank you. The recording is now ending.